I'm chopping off some oregano from my garden, and these are gonna be perfect for my cheese oregano pie that I'm gonna show you how to do right now. So join me in the kitchen, where I'm gonna start by separating the leaves from the stem. I'm gonna finish the whole amount, give it a good wash, and then I'm gonna give it a rough chop. Here I have 100 grams of oregano from my garden. If you're not used to strong oregano flavor, you can use only half of the amount, about 50 or 60 grams, and that will work as well. So I just gave it a rough chop and I'm gonna place it in a bowl. Now I'm gonna roughly chop some cheese, about 500 grams of Akwai cheese, and you can use Nabulsi cheese or Panela cheese, queso fresco. Any of these cheeses will work very well. I set the cheese aside and I'm gonna work on the very simple dough. In a clean bowl, I'm gonna add 4 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm gonna add half a tablespoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of instant yeast. I'm gonna dump everything in the same bowl. I'm not gonna separate anything. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of sugar. I'm also gonna add 2 great flavors. One is mahlab and the other one is gum mastic. And I'm gonna grind the mastic and add a 1/4 teaspoon of each, mahlab and mastic. I always add all the amounts and all the ingredients in the description box below, and you can find mahlab and mastic on Amazon or in any Middle Eastern store. If you don't have any, don't worry about it. Just mix the dry ingredients very well, and you're gonna add the washed and dried oregano. Mix well with the flour. And like I said, if you enjoy the flavor of the oregano like I do, add the whole amount. If you don't, just add half of the amount, about 50 grams, and it's gonna add a very nice flavor, but more subtle flavor. And maybe add more cheese. Now I'm gonna add the cheese, and then I'm gonna add half a cup of olive oil. Now I'm gonna add the warm water gradually, about 1.5 cups. You might need a little less or a little more depending on your flour. You're gonna add the water gradually until the dough comes together nicely. We're not gonna overwork the dough or knead it for a long time. After the dough comes together, we're gonna spread it in a 13-inch pan. But first, I'm gonna oil the pan, add some olive oil, about 3 tablespoons. Dump the dough and spread it as even as you can. We're gonna let it rest for an hour or 2 depending on the room's temperature. But first, I'm gonna add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on top, some nigella seeds, sesame seeds, and a little bit of halloumi cheese. I want to encourage you to ask questions and leave comments in the comments box below. I love to hear from you and answer all your questions. And please subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my recipes. Cover and forget about it for an hour or 2. Then you're gonna bake it at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can see it has risen nicely. This is how it's gonna look like coming out of the oven. It's gonna look crispy and it's gonna smell amazing. I can't wait to try it. I highly recommend you try this recipe out. It's super easy and super yummy. I like to serve it with cucumbers or maybe a cup of hot tea. Pick a slice, enjoy, and bon appetit!